Namaste friends, welcome to Yoga Bliss with Shelly, and I'm Shelly. Welcome to 7 practices for a better you. Being a better you, we already did practice 1, which was yesterday, trust yoga. Today's practice is around create yoga. When we can tap into our creative self, we can open up and expand to brighter horizons in our lives. So unroll your mat, unpeel the edges. If you need to stick them down, that's okay. It happens to us all. And together, let's do this. Welcome to Create Yoga, friends. Together, rolling over, getting that booty nice and firmly on the earth, getting the feet settled into the earth and coming down onto the back. So just however works best for you, slow and mindfully allowing that back to track all the way down. Try mindfully and slowly getting that back down onto the earth, friends. And you can allow the feet to press into the earth and knees to rest together, or if it feels better, you can allow the legs to lay long. Maybe this is the first time today you've allowed yourself to just be and settle. Bringing the hands to the creative space, all the way to that belly, to that center of creativity. And for this breath work today, I want you to think of a number that feels good for you and count in on the inhale. So if it's 4, it will be 4 in, and then exhaling to the same count. With the exhale, allow yourself to drop and melt the jaw and let the breath exhale and expand as the hands are resting on the belly, my friends. So cycling with your breath on that inhale, bringing that number all the way in, down low into the belly, filling it up. And don't stress about this, just let this come organically. It's not about holding your breath the longest or seeing how long you can hold your breath. Just bringing that breath, flowing it into that belly. And pausing for a moment at the top of your number as you exhale out. Wonderful work, my friends, cycling with your breath. Letting it go. Allowing all the thoughts, maybe all the thoughts are coming in and hanging overhead. Maybe you're having that monkey mind that you've heard in yoga, that monkey mind that won't shut off, that inner critic, and letting that breath anchor you into the moment. And just taking 2 more of these cycles at your own pace. Maybe trying one more count. Wonderful work, friends. Setting an intention for yourself, an intention for your practice, or maybe an intention for your life. Setting that intention and trusting that whatever comes in is what you need to hear. Or maybe if you're drawing a blank, you can simply set the intention to cultivate creativity in your life. Wonderful work, my friends. From here, activating through the core by pressing that belly button back towards the spine. Inhale, raising one knee up towards the opposite armpit. So grabbing right or left, there's no right or wrong. And just slowly, with eyes closed or eyes open, just gently tuning into that hip. As we cultivate creativity, we are opening up our hips and allowing our creative space to just open up and be. So giving a little love, like into that hip, bringing love into your body with the breath. And I know sometimes it can be super hard to love your practice and love your breath if you're having kind of a crazy life. So today for this practice, let's cultivate creativity by loving ourselves, and we're trusting ourselves, right? Because we practice one and trust yoga. So we're better understanding how we can trust ourselves. So just gently carving a circle with that knee, trying to get rid of any straight lines and allowing that circle to go in a clockwise direction. And often we can get a little mixed up. So a clock goes to the right all the way around, so taking that to the right. And maybe playing with lifting the heel up a little bit if that feels good. You can use both hands interlaced together. You can use one. Pausing in the middle, finding that balance in that creative space. And exhale to go counterclockwise, which is going to the left. So counterclockwise, moving that knee over. And just noticing, taking note if there's any tightness, any space of discomfort. And just taking notice, not judging it. One more full cycle around, and now get playful. And you can make whatever shape of lines you want. Being creative in your doing, right? We can do anything creative, you guys. You don't have to be an artist like me or a writer. You don't have to be these specific things to get creative. You can be creative in your movements. So that's today. Let's do this through creative movements. And as you gently play side to side, just acknowledge what it feels like. Maybe revisiting a spot if that feels good, or if it's saying no thank you, that's okay too. Wonderful work with a big inhale in while the leg is lengthened long on the earth. Exhale, pushing that heel up high towards the sky. So just acknowledging what it feels like, and maybe you can interlace the hands behind the leg, drawing that thigh up towards the navel here. Inhale, raising up, give yourself a little bitty hug here as you exhale. And no judging yourself for how maybe tight your thigh may feel. If your leg is stretching up, if your heel or your ankle is popping. I guess that wouldn't be the heel, it's the ankle. If the ankle is popping, being okay with that. Rolling small circles in a clockwise to the right position, and in a counterclockwise to the left. And from here, if you can, test yourself to bring the awareness and the hands back to the tummy and write somebody's name in cursive on the ceiling, on the sky, wherever you're practicing. I want you to take time to write their name, someone you are grateful for. So slow and mindfully, getting all those loops. And once you've gotten their name written, I want you to underline it 3, 4, 5 times like they matter. Underlining their name and feeling so much gratitude for this person, so much love for them that it just radiates throughout your body. Gently exhaling, driving the heel towards the sit bones, giving yourself one last little hug here. Inhale, lifting that knee up towards the chin, lifting those shoulders off of the earth, exhaling down. From the core, tucking that navel back towards the spine, lengthening that leg long, slow and mindfully, as slow as you can. It's not a race. Seeing how slow and isolated you can make the movement as you gently hover it over the mat and rest it. Good job. And just acknowledging how it feels in one hip versus the other. Inhale, tucking in, activating through the core, bringing the opposite foot up towards the opposite heel, opposite knee, up towards the same side of the armpit. Coming in for this single-legged Apanasana. And just making that circle, that clockwise circle in that hip joint. Giving so much love and acknowledgement to the hip flexors, the hip joints, as you are driving that heel and that knee in towards that midline and then pushing it away. Just giving that love and just acknowledging maybe if it's feeling tight and not perfect, because we're not all perfect. This is a practice, right, friends? Not a perfect. Pausing at the middle, coming back to our center, finding that balance, exhaling counterclockwise to the left, my friends. Making that circle, trying your best not to make any straight lines and just flow with a cohesive circle, just round and round, feeling what that feels like. Cultivating creativity by being creative in your movement. Maybe if it feels good to drive that heel up or to point those toes, be creative in your movement. Opening us to being more creative in our lives. When we get to be more creative in our lives, ideas are just floating around us, just waiting for us to grab onto them and do something with them. Inhale, pausing at the center, giving yourself one more hug, lifting those shoulders up off of the earth, tucking the knee towards the nose, big breath here. Exhaling down and driving that heel up high to the sky, taking the hands and interlacing behind the thigh underneath the bend of the knee, lengthening that leg long here. As you drive this foot up high to the sky, now it's your turn because you are so awesome and worth it. With your tippity toe, write your name in the most beautiful cursive that you can, and even if penmanship is something you struggle with, write your name. Slow and mindful, taking time to put in the detail, time to love you. Good job. Wonderful work, friends, getting all those beautiful loopy lines. And when you're done, underlining your name 5 times, 6 times. Maybe making a couple dot, dot, dots or some hearts and squiggly happy faces by your name. Exhale, slowly driving the heel back towards the sit bones, bringing hands on the outside of the knee, interlacing or just cupping around the shin, the top of the shin. Inhale, giving yourself a big loving hug because today we choose to love ourselves. To be a better us, to be a better you, we must cultivate this awareness for self-love and self-care. And that's what we're doing. We're being better because we're loving ourselves. Exhaling all the way down, my friends. Wonderful work. Laying those legs long. And from here, coming up to a little rockabye baby. So bending the knees, however this looks like for you. If you can do this, if rocking up is kind of wonky in your spine, just flip over on the side and get up. Or if you can rock up, take 3 rocks up as you rock up. Exhaling down, getting creative and getting playful. And as we rock up, coming all the way up, creating this beautiful V from our knees all the way to our open heart, squeezing the shoulder blades together. Exhale, extending one leg long, arms, palms facing up high to the sky. Breathing in a big breath here, pausing for this boat variation. Wonderful work, my friends. If it's feeling shaky, if you want to extend it straight out, exhaling, if you can, adding in the second leg, bringing both hands to this boat variation. If this is where you need to stay, this is okay. Or you can pause one foot, taking a couple breaths, and taking the opposite. If you would like to power through, getting creative in your boat, pushing those heels up high to the sky, big breaths in. I'm shaking, working through this beautiful boat, big breaths in, letting it go, working through that shake, because life gets shaky and rough, and it gets hard, and the universe loves metaphors. So sometimes it gets hard, and we have to push through because giving up is not an option. We're not going to give up on ourselves. Gently exhaling those feet down, crisscrossing, my friends, exhaling. So just gently from here, diving forward. If this doesn't work for you, you can always have the option to come into tabletop at your own pace by flipping the legs to the side or just whatever works for you. Right now, I'm going to just simply be transferring the weight from the ankles all the way forward into my front body, resting the forearms flat onto the earth, and just gently coming forward here. Reversing, getting here in this beautiful tabletop position. And usually I do use a blanket, but I didn't grab one today. So if you would like to, you can pause the video and get your blanket underneath of your knees here. Coming into this tabletop position, being aware of your alignment, stacking the hips over the knees, aligning, really tuning into that core, and if it's trying to sag and naturally do a cow or a cat, just feeling what that feels like. Tuning into the feet as they are pointed up high to the sky. Exhaling, diving the heel of the left leg back. Inhale, raising up like you are shaking hands with somebody on the opposite side body for this bird dog variation. Exhaling long and strong. Inhale to tuck. Exhale to find length, doing 10 of these. 10. Inhale to tuck. I am creative. 9. I am creative in my doing. 8. Tucking that in, really feeling that back arch. 7. I am strong. Pausing here, big breath in. Inhaling it in. 6. I am creative. Inhaling in, saying an affirmation that you need to hear. I'm smart enough. 5. I am good enough. 4. I am good enough. 3. I can do whatever I set out to do. 2. Feeling the burn in that shoulder, feeling it long and strong. I am amazing. Inhale. 1, as we pause long, and I have the option to stay here or drop that heel down if you need to, and you can pause here, or if you would like something a little deeper, exhale, diving that heel back towards that body, reaching behind with the opposite shoulder. Inhale as you open up the heart, open the hip, and pausing right here, opening up this beautiful body as we get creative in our doing. Big breath in, I am strong. Pausing here, I am creative. I am doing this. Working through the burn. Strong, my friends, you are strong. Exhale slowly and mindfully, arms long and strong, gently tucking into that body. Woo! Feeling that. Holy macaroni. We totally deserve a child's pose here. This wasn't in my plan, but we are giving ourselves a child's pose. Big toes, kissing big toes. Heels wide open, knees wide open, sinking those sit bones back. Bhaktasana or Balasana, child's pose or devotional. Arms long or arms rested at your side. Pausing here. Whew. Catching that breath. Being grateful for all the creativity around you. Being grateful for hard work. Being grateful for everything. This is a beautiful pose for gratitude. So just surrendering here and taking 3 breaths of gratitude right here, my friends. Wonderful work. One last breath, my friends. We have got this. Slowly and mindfully coming back up to all 4s, tuning into that tabletop position. Hello, Joy. This is Joy, and he is feeling rather playful like usual. Hello. Exhaling the opposite leg long and strong. Hello, kisses too. Opposite leg long and strong. Opposite arm long and strong. Hand, thumb pointing up high to the sky like you're giving somebody a handshake. Doing your best to make this long line of energy here as we power through 10 of these bird dogs. Inhale, tucking the knee in towards the chest. Exhaling long. I am strong. 10. Inhale, tucking. I am creative. Inhale, I am present in the moment. 7. I am showing up no matter what. 6. I am working through distractions of life, like Joy. He's totally my distraction. My kids are at school. And of course, right? It wouldn't be Yoga Bliss for Shelly unless there was some wackadoodly chicken in the background. I am creative. 4. Exhale, powering through. I am strong. I am compassionate of myself. And if you lose your balance, okay, it's okay a little bit. Inhale. It's okay a lot of it. It's always okay. Wherever you are on your mat is okay. 2. I am strong. 1. Long and strong. Exhaling if you need to. You can pause right here. If you would like something a little bit deeper. Exhale, hinging that knee, bending that heel back towards the sit bones, reaching the hand back, wrapping around the outside of the foot. Inhale, opening up the heart, opening up the body here, powering through that hand, pressed into the earth. Big, beautiful breath, my friends. You've got this. Strong, creative, best selves. We're doing this because we want to get healthy, fit, in shape, mentally, physically, and spiritually. Good job. Exhale slowly and mindfully, like it's your job. Slowly and mindfully. Woo! That feels so good. I've got all of the dog toys over here because that's what Joy is doing. Exhaling, wide open starfish hands. If you need to, you can rest the pinkies over the edges of the mat, posting up high onto the feet, rolling the elbows, the eyes of the elbows towards the short edge of the mat away from you. And from here, gently raising up, peeling yourself off of the mat. Pausing here, beautiful work. 5, 4, pausing, holding. 3, powering through. 2, 1, coming all the way up. Pushing sit bones high up to the sky. Opening through the shoulder blades, opening through the front body, and pedaling out the feet. Gently pedaling out the feet and not worrying about how close to the earth your heels are, how close they aren't. This is a practice. It's not a perfect, my friends. Sinking that heart towards the thighs. Just walking out your dog. And just taking note of what the world looks like from this perspective, from this inversion. And just noticing, getting creative in your seeing things from a different perspective can open up a new line of creativity and open us up to new ideas. Slowly exhale, walking the hands back, slowly walking hands all the way back to an uttasana, to a forward fold. Folding forward as you root those feet into the earth. Just kind of notice the feet. You want the feet inside of the hips, not too far out or too close together. Hinging that heart forward. I know off and on this has been a pose that I've struggled with. Something as simply as bending forward, depending on where you are in your hamstrings. So you can give yourself a nice bend, generous bend as you wrap your arms around the outside of your legs and give yourself a love. A loving hug, and inside or out. Speaking out loud is always the most healing. Repeat after me. I love myself. I love myself. I love myself. Good job, my friends. Exhale slowly and mindfully. Inhale to raise to standing, and do this slow. Taking each vertebrae at a time. Coming to standing. All the way raising. Slowly, slowly. It's not a race. Woo! And maybe catching that wave. I know sometimes from inversions I've heard from students and friends that you can experience, and I even do like those feelings of dizziness, and I just open up that it's an experience of just opening up to energy. So just open up, don't close, imagine a bright light, an open door, and open up with the palms facing forward. Humbly tucking the chin, coming into your peaceful mountain, your mountain pose. If you can, testing yourself to just gently close the eyes, open the palms. If you feel called, you can do Anjali Mudra, which is just starfish hands to the heart center in prayer. And from here, doing that count with that breath. If it's 3 or 4 breaths, flowing with that breath on the inhale, flowing the same count on the inhale as it is to the exhale. So if it's 1, 2, 3, 4 in, it will be 1, 2, 3, 4 out. Flowing with 3 of these breaths, just pausing here. Dropping that jaw, melting the heart. Letting go of judgment of yourself and being creative with your breath. And I know sometimes in my mountain I like to rock a little bit. It might be all the babies that I've had, all 3 babies, and the constant need to move and get somebody cozy. And maybe it's just getting myself cozy. From here, exhaling the arms, palms wide open, like you're going to free fall off of a mountain. Exhale, diving forward, coming up to standing, wrapping your arms, low or high, whatever feels best, giving yourself an I love you hug. And repeating, I love you self. I love you self. I love you self. Giving yourself a big old hug and squeezing it. And letting that go, putting that vibe out into the universe. From here, my beautiful friends, coming in for a balancing pose as we really root our feet into the earth. So coming in for our chair pose first, feet, you can check it out what feels best. So feet can be either hip distance apart or bringing them kissing each other. I know sometimes for me it can be super challenging if I'm getting my feet all the way kissing. So I like to have a tiny bit of space. So really hugging and internally rotating the thighs and the hips and tucking that navel back towards the spine as you're activating through four corners of the feet and just sitting down in that chair. So as you sit down forward, or I'll turn sideways so you can see better, sitting down in that chair, really pressing into the earth, exhaling those arms long and strong, my friends. Taking in 3 peaceful breaths here. Maybe grabbing onto that count if that feels good for you. Working through the burn, being creative. Maybe if you want to find a little free movement in here. Maybe if you want to sway your hips, get creative. I love dancing. I love watching dance and dancing. Although I never danced as a kid, and I always wanted to, so maybe that's why. Exhale, coming up to standing, my friends. So as we prepare for our balancing pose, just taking a breath, lots of feelings. Exhale, diving the left arm under the right, crossing and just crisscrossing for an eagle arm, my friends. So slow and steady. One arm under the other, just like, what are we? We're actually going clockwise. And just gently pressing back behind the thumb of the supported finger here. With this eagle arms, first option is to really root into the earth with your right foot. So rooting in, zipping up from the ankle to the knee to the hip, being aware if the hip bone is trying to crawl out. First option, if you're newer to yoga, just create this kickstand here for this eagle. Where you can just create this kickstand, create this inner balance. Good job, my friends. Big breath in and letting that flow out. If you have practiced yoga before, you can just cross that leg and you can just keep it hung out here. Or if you want something a little more advanced, you can woo, and that might not be working for me today or you. So wherever you are at in your practice, the more you can drive that knee up high towards the belly, the easier it's going to be to place that leg across. So feel that. And really then sit back in that chair. In this beautiful eagle. Big breath in, my friends. Finding a drishti, a visual point. Pausing here. Good job. Strong, creative eagles. Maybe we're envisioning ourselves flying off the mountain. Slowly and mindfully coming up, unraveling that foot. Unraveling those arms and shaking it out. Woo! Eagle is so freeing. Maybe just taking a free movement to just flap your wings. For a while, a couple summers ago, I got into African dance, and they did a lot of tribal dancing of dancing your day. So give yourself a little eagle. Woo! It feels so good. Shaking that out, tuning into the opposite way. So I was going clockwise, you were counterclockwise, so it's the opposite way. So then opposite way, opposite arm, right dives under, left goes over top, wrapping around and just gently pressing into that thumb, coming up for that eagle arms. Really hugging the shoulders down towards the nose, being aware if the body wants to go forward for more of a sleepy eagle or coming up. I'm gonna kind of show you from the side this one. So really rooting the opposite foot into the earth. Inhale, raising that foot up. And whatever that eagle looks like for you, you can drop to one side. You can just stay here. Whoop, stay here, my friends, if that eagle works. Or bringing that knee up high, crossing that over, and tucking in one side might be better than the other. Coming back into those sit bones, balancing on that foot for this eagle. Drawing the shoulders away from the ear, being creative in yourself. Beautiful work, my free eagle friend. Creative, drishti, finding stillness, gently coming up to standing, unraveling. Woo! Shaking that out. That felt so good. Inhale, flapping those eagle wings up high. exhale to sink them down. And just taking a moment to settle into your feet if you need to walk side to side. Inhale, raising up those eagle arms. 8. Each time feeling more free and open. Allowing yourself to let go of all the perceptions you hold of yourself as we are taking these eagles. Maybe you want to be a little more creative in your doing in your eagle. And just slowly cooling down. And allowing yourself to show up here and show up for you so you can be a better version of yourself. 2 more eagle arms, my friends. Big and bold. Maybe you want to swoop forward. Wonderful work, my friends. Inhale to raise up, last eagle. Exhaling those arms down. And maybe just trying this with me, hinging forward with the heart. Trying to look straight forward or down at the earth. Flying those eagle arms. Inhale, raising all the way up. Palms kissing palms. High up above the head. Diving down to the heart center. And I encourage you, if you are feeling like you need a little more of a cool down, you just go ahead after this practice and you take a little cool down pose that you feel called to. I'm so grateful to be practicing 7 practices to a better you. And if you hadn't caught Trust Yoga, head on back to Trust Yoga, practice 1. And I look forward to creating a new practice with you of practice 3, which is going to be inner knowledge yoga, that inner knowingness, allowing us to tap into that so we can become our best selves. Thumbs us up, subscribe, and please, if you have enjoyed this, share this 7 practices to a better you with a friend or a family, a coworker, someone that you love, someone that you think could use a little yoga bliss in their life, because we all deserve to feel those feelings of being blissed out with the help of yoga. I love you so much, and I'm so grateful, friends. Namaste. Namaste.